Hello and welcome to What the Hey, where someone asked a question, so I'm gonna answer it. When I go to my notebook of knowledge, I see the question of who the hey is Mr. Ryan? Now this topic comes from Harold, so hello to you and thank you very much for the question. Now in terms of a very basic introduction, Mr. Ryan was a content creator on YouTube who released many notable videos onto the platform that kind of range from memes, fan movies, and fact recordings. As a small side note, his channel name and kind of the character that he represents is a character known as Ryan from Thomas the Tank Engine, so that's the kind of connection I had to make because I thought I was supposed to talk about the character, but no, it's the channel. One thing I would like to start adding with my content creator related videos, I want to kind of read off of the bio because I feel like the people who create the channels know what their channel is more than I do, so here is that. Mr. Ryan says that he is just a British lad who likes Thomas, which I feel like makes sense because his stuff, for the most part, represents the Thomas the Tank Engine community and franchise. Now, as a heads up, a lot of the information that I'm going to present in this video, for the most part, is accurately inaccurate. I just wanted to put that out there for those of you who may be familiar with the channel already and think that I'm just saying this stuff because it seems like fact, even though it kind of is, but it kind of isn't. So if you would like to know why it isn't, but it kind of is, feel free to watch towards the end. But to get us started with some of the background information on this channel, Mr. Ryan joined the YouTube platform on July 22nd of 2017, and since then they've gotten an overall channel view count of around 110,000. In regard to the community behind this channel, currently there are around 22,000 subscribers that support what they do, and currently what they have out is one video. Previously that was more, which I'll explain once again later. Furthermore, in terms of reaching out to Mr. Ryan, there was an option to kind of go onto a Thomas fan Discord server, but that has since pretty much, I believe, been discontinued. I also believe from general information that there was at one point an active Twitter account, and the only other thing that you can kind of reach out to Mr. Ryan through would be his email that's attached in the About section. Whether or not that's active, I don't believe is the case, which I'll explain more later, but in general, that's the stuff that the channel used to connect with the audience. Going back to actually discussing the channel, in terms of accessing different forums and avenues of the channel, that's relatively limited. Because if you go on there now, there's no playlist, there's no lives, there's no mentioned channels, so the channel itself is really just the channel itself. Now this is usually part of the discussion where I bring up different videos from the channel, however presently there's only one. So technically this video fits all the marks for being the most recent, popular, and oldest video, even though that's not really the case. Anyway, that video is titled Henry's Origin Story Full Movie, which has around 110,000 views and was premiered on April 30th of 2022. So now I can actually kind of go over why the channel is relatively limited in terms of content and what kind of content you can access in general. So approximately 2 weeks ago, Mr. Ryan put out a channel community post essentially explaining that his channel got hacked. Mr. Ryan didn't specifically state who exactly it was, just that they knew them personally. And if I correctly recall in the community post, Mr. Ryan was explaining that the person basically got rid of the Discord server. They basically deleted and removed a lot of the videos from the channel. So for me, it was kind of difficult to find the different videos on the channel because it's currently just the one. And unfortunately, pretty much towards the end of the community post, Mr. Ryan was explaining that they're pretty much done at this point with YouTube and different social media accounts, so that's why it's kind of not really useful to go onto the Twitter, the Discord server that's not really there, or to reach out to them through email. However, one of the outcomes of this situation is that people who support the Mr. Ryan channel have created videos dedicated to kind of supporting Mr. Ryan in this situation and kind of saying like how sad it is that it even occurred in the first place. So I'll probably put screenshots up if you would like to hear words coming from someone who watched the Mr. Channel Ryan more than I did and kind of explaining the situation probably better than I am. And in terms of my general opinion, I just think the situation overall is pretty crazy. Because I'm not really someone who's technologically savvy, so I'm not sure how someone could hack someone else's YouTube account, because usually it's pretty secure if you set it up right, but it is still very miserable for Mr. Ryan to put a bunch of effort into their channel, because I'm sure there was a lot of effort just from watching the fan movie for a few minutes. They're really skilled at what they do. And it's very weird that the person who hacked the account didn't delete the fan film, because I feel like that's probably one of their bigger projects, just from general observation. So to have that saved is very weird, but it's also very much so a blessing for Mr. Ryan, I'm assuming. In general, it just kind of seems pathetic for someone to try to hack someone else's account instead of making their own, unless there was some sort of like beef between Mr. Ryan and whoever hacked the account. It's just very sad that someone would do that to someone who's probably put a lot of time into their channel. In terms of other additional observations, I'm assuming that the rest of Mr. Ryan's content was really impressive, because as I already mentioned, just seeing the fan film for a few minutes was really cool. I also thought it was pretty funny and pretty cool that Mr. Ryan chose the Ryan character from Thomas and Friends. That's just very specific, so like good on you for that. Overall, I feel like if I had seen some of the videos that weren't taken down by Mr. Ryan, I would be just as impressed with them as I am with the fan film, because all of that takes a bunch of work. As usual with these kinds of videos, I'll have a link to the channel in the description, so if you would like to support them, despite the fact that they're probably not going to upload for a while at least, that'll be there if you'd like to check them out, and the fan film. Additionally, if you happen to have any questions, feel free to let me know and I'll get to working on them as soon as I can, but that's about it, so thank you very much for watching. Bye.